David with the Wholesalers Toolbox. This is officially, I believe, my first live ever, but I wanted to get to you real quick and talk about MLS data. And there was a big company in the wholesaling arena that had MLS data. They lost it. We're not going to get into that today, but I wanted to let you know that DealMachine has the MLS data that you're looking for. So again, I wanted to get on with Matt with DealMachine and let him just go through the DealMachine system real quick, show you the MLS data they have, how it works in their system, and wow you with what they've got to offer. So take it away, Matt.
Yeah, and I feel honored to be your first live guest too. So thanks for bringing me on. This will be a fun experiment. But and we've even got I've been slowly upgrading our media studio over here so we can show off the little neon sign in the back and all that too. So it's having a good time here. Yeah. Thank you. So super excited to announce this. We just been rolling it out over the last couple of weeks, and we've been working on this for quite a while. Like we've had the data for quite a while, but wanted to make sure we presented it in just the simplest, easiest way to use within DealMachine possible. I'd say this the announcement of saying, hey, we have MLS data now. That's super exciting. We've got all sold data, expired listing data. Anything around that to be able to run with. And I'll give you the best practices today of how to be using that and where to find that inside DealMachine now. And then too, hey, we've got, data for non-disclosure states too. So if you're in Texas, if you're in, New Mexico, Missouri, Mississippi, there's, quite a few that this is going to really help people go in and be able to not just rely on county record data anymore, but use MLS data in their own market. I'm based in Missouri myself, but I'm really, really excited to kind of share that today. And I know it's over 700 plus MLS data points and over 65 MLS filters within this new data upgrade here. So happy to show this off and can do a screen share here to get into the nitty gritty of exactly how to use it within DealMachine.
Let's do it. Let's show everybody what you got.
Awesome. Let me know when you can pull up my screen.
Right now, we're going to switch over.
There we are. Nice. Awesome. So, and again, I'll go through what do you use MLS data for? Why is this a big deal? Why is this going to be able to help you be a better investor, help really give you the power of real estate investing, which that's our mission as a company, is to give everyone that power using technology. So there's three main areas within DealMachine that I'll be able to break this down on where to find this and how to leverage it. First and foremost is our driving for dollars map, which is what I'm showing you right here. And that's the thing. I mean, traditionally, that's what we're known for most, for sure. That's the thing that our brand was built on, and the technology that we built first is being able to get out there and drive for dollars, meaning, and I know you put out, David, a ton of awesome, just good content around how to drive for dollars, how to do this strategy. You've had me on to talk about that before. But the idea being hey, drive around and look for these physically distressed properties in your neighborhood, because physical distress is the number one sign of a potentially motivated seller. So getting out there and doing that, we have a mobile app to help you do that. You're seeing the desktop version, which it syncs up with mobile and is the exact same experience as well. But to kind of begin with, you'll see on here these blue dots start to pop up. These areas, let's see if I can find one property for you specifically. So here we go, 5326. So you'll see right there, sold data. So that sold data right there, this is a new number. And these blue dots in general that are popping up on the map within DealMachine, these are ones that are brand new to show off that MLS data that we have here.
If you go in, dots, right?
Yeah,
because you've got the big tags. So not
correct.
The big tags, but the smaller.
Yep, and we're looking at other ways to visually display it so it's really obvious for people, but it's the smaller blue dots. When you actually lock on your location and drive around, they're more obvious as well on the phone. But being able to do that, you'll immediately see hey, here's data that this was recently sold about a year ago. And it'll give you data around that. And then even when you scroll down, MLS info in terms of market status, listing price, days on market, sale price compared to that, even the agent right there. So you can go in there and get really, really specific on finding data around, hey, what was the sale date, sale price, days on market, all these things that are valuable data points for you to be able to understand your market. And, one thing that we see people from a days on market perspective really leverage, and this will be, I think, something that might be more and more relevant here, as the year goes on and into next year. But being able to offer them a quick and easy solution of saying, hey, you don't need to deal with days on market. Obviously in a hot market that doesn't matter as much. But when you're able to present that information to people, that's a headache that you can help immediately alleviate for them too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and it helps too with being able to pull up that sold data. To know what your competition's doing, right? If another wholesaler or investor bought a house, or or an investor went and bought a property, you can see what they're paying for the properties in that area, right? So where you need to be on the same kind of properties.
100%. And I think that's a really good thing to look at, even in analyzing like where are transactions happening, where are things going on market and happening like that. So from a best practices standpoint, when you're driving for dollars, which is this drive tab as well here within the DealMachine app, there's a highlights button that I keep clicking on this left side right here. And this is an obvious, one on the phone as well. But when you click that highlights button, you can go in here and you can actually say create a highlight. And then when you create a highlight, if you search, anything around MLS, you'll see all of this information come up. So market status, days on market, all of this type of information. If you just do market status and just say, hey, I'll do really any of them, confirm anything coming up. And especially, we'll just say it's known. If there's a known market status right here, hit confirm, hit apply highlights, and you'll see, let's see. All right, here we go. And you'll start to see these highlights pop up around here. Hold on, let me actually narrow this down. We may have made it a little bit too broad here. Yeah. So if we do MLS market status active, confirm. Let's try that. Does that nail it down a little bit here? Active MLS. Cool. Apply that. See if we can get a little bit more narrow for you here. There we go. So we've got 3 properties popping up. So these different properties that pop up, one, that means they're active, actively on the market. So if you're driving for dollars, the whole point of this strategy is to find properties that you can go direct to seller that are not on market, ones that are actually, properties that have not been listed and not been put out a sign to say, hey, come buy my house. The goal is to be able to find physically distressed properties that, for whatever reason that owner is just not able to keep up with. And that way you have an opportunity to come in there, solve a problem for them. One, figure out, are they a motivated seller? Are they looking to move at any point? And then 2, can you go in and solve a problem for them as an investor, as a wholesaler, and have that conversation with them. So if they're coming up as a highlight is on the market, I'd say if you're driving around, or if you have somebody driving for you doing that, I'd say, hey, have them remove that property. Like have them not go after that one, just because you're going to be dealing with a ton of competition. And these highlights will also show you what parts of town are people selling, what parts of town are people putting properties on the market, to help you pick out where to be driving as well.
Right. Do you, in the filter, is there days on market?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So you could do on market, days on market, and maybe vacant, and look for properties that nobody's buying because they're torn up so bad. Right?
Yeah, that's a great example. I mean, expired listings is another one that you can hit that to say like, hey, what has recently failed? Like, what did they try to put on market and then weren't able to sell? So you'll see, and I would say that's from a best practices standpoint. Look at that. Like, look at that as a great way to be able to filter out properties. Okay, if it's physically distressed and they tried to sell it recently, like that, that's gonna be an extremely high quality lead.
Awesome.
Awesome. So I know there's 3 areas to be able to find in DealMachine. 1 is driving for dollars. That's on the map right here. Give you some best practices there. 2 is list builder. So, and this will kind of give you a little bit of an overview of DealMachine in general too. But again, our goal is like, hey, we want to be the technology that gives everyone the power of real estate investing. And the way to do that is you've got 2 different ways that you can really go find leads, add leads. You've got, driving for dollars, which we just covered. And then you've got list builder. And list builder is a solution right here where if you hit this list builder tab, it pops up as an overlay right here. This is where you can go in and you can pull a list. And, the whole goal behind that is, if you are driving for dollars, you're creating a list that's all your own. You're finding these properties that are off market that, are physically distressed. So they're, have a high, you're getting a great bang for your buck because they have a high chance of having less competition and also a high chance of being motivated to sell because of that physical distress. List builder is kind of the other side of that, is saying, okay, less bang for your buck because you're pulling a list that other people have easy access to. Other people can come in and pull a list, in a minute here as well.
Right.
But if you don't have the time to go out and drive, you don't have the time to go, identify physically distressed properties, pulling a list this way is still going to give you a great way to go off market, to go direct to seller, to be able to find leads that are not on market and extremely competitive already. So to kind of go into list builder, that's something, again, it's this top button right here within DealMachine. Clicking on that, you'll be able to go in here and same type of thing. You can create a filter and you can type in MLS and see anything around market status, days on market, if it's, failed listing, if it's, recently sold, anything like that. And again, the goal with this, similar to driving for dollars, you want to suppress and eliminate, suppress all of the leads that are on market, because that, that's going to, you'll be sending mail, you'll be skip tracing, you'll be spending your time and marketing budget on leads that just aren't qualified because they're on market, right? So that's going to save you a ton of money right there, marketing dollars. And then two, if you look at and say, okay, I want to target the expired listings, let me create a filter here. So if you got MLS and then let's see, market status and any kind of recently failed property right here, confirm that. And you'll be able to see, okay, here are the ones that have been expired listing before. And I've got 173 leads right here that you can go in and immediately target of, okay, we know they've tried to list and, had an issue selling that property.
Right. Yeah. Reach out and find out what the issue was and see if you can help solve their problem.
Exactly. And you can come in and with our list builder, you can draw around a very specific area too, and get really, really focused and saying, hey, if I know this is the exact area I want to focus on, okay, I can draw on, even if you want to pin it down to a specific block, because you're, block by block, you have a different market within your city, going in here and pinning that down and just building a list right there. You've got 35 leads, that they're all expired listings right within this very specific area. Drew that around, hit build list, and boom, you've already got that, importing right there. So again, those are kind of two options, driving for dollars and list builder, that now you can tap into using MLS data.
That's awesome. And you guys, you had this for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, like the actual data itself we've had for quite a while. It's just a matter of integrating it into the product and making sure we present it in a really just super simple, easy to use way. So that way any newbie could come in here and quickly just start to pull lists and start to drive for dollars and use that data. One thing I will say, the third place you can find it within DealMachine is our comps tool, our MLS comps tool. And this is something we're super, super excited about. You can find it really easily within DealMachine if you just hit any property that you click on. So you've got a leads tab right here that has all of your leads. Any property you click on, you'll see a comps, right? Comps is right here. Mm-hmm. When you click on that, it'll tell it's an upgrade. It's a $20 a month add-on to be able to upgrade to that. But once you click into that, you'll be able to see this is something that is, it's an add-on that's mobile friendly. So anybody, anywhere, anyone on your team can, if you pay that $20 a month add-on, they all have access to that on the go. And they're able to tap into this data, on the spot, which many times you have people, in the field, driving for dollars or talking to sellers, right? If you're doing this as well, I know, especially in hot markets, having the most up-to-date, accurate data possible is what makes MLS so powerful. Is that going in here, you can still toggle it. You can still look at county records versus MLS data. We give you both options here. But having that MLS data is what's going to give you the most relevant, accurate, up-to-date information because of that speed. Like the county records is based on government records. MLS data is what agents are reporting on. It's much more accurate, quicker, and something you can, especially in today's market when things are shifting, things are moving, like having that super accurate, most recent data is just extremely valuable.
Yeah. When you're, when I'm out driving for dollars and I get a phone call, I don't come back. If somebody's, you're on the phone with them and they're interested in selling or they're motivated in selling, if they're at the property, I'll go to the property and, not go home and get on, the internet and try to figure out what their house is worth. I'll go right over and see them. So being able to pull up in front of the house and just take a look at what the comps are, what these places are selling for in that neighborhood is very, very helpful. So
100%. And for that reason, we made it just fun, simple, easy to use. Like you go in here, you'll see the, and this is exactly what it looks like on your phone as well. But you can click on this and say, okay, let me set filters around bed, bath, square feet, year built, range, how many miles away, date of sale. So it's, recent, especially now, with this crazy market. Like I highly recommend reducing that to the last, 3 months or even 6 weeks in terms of comp. And then going in here, you can actually just quickly say, okay, let me start drawing, draw around a specific area. You can get even more specific around that, and then back out and be able to, you won't see any comparable comps there. But if you back out and say like, hey, yeah, around here we go. Here's the closest comp for that one. But you'll be able to mess with it on the go and be able to see, okay, here are the comps in my area that fit that filter. And just quickly as you click and deselect and reselect those particular properties, you'll see your estimated value on the spot go up and down based on the average dollars per square foot of these properties. So it just really, really quickly makes it super, like, again, it's fun and easy to use, but also incredibly powerful to be able to go in and just select that, deselect it. And, if you're driving for dollars, like you said, or if you're using List Builder, using something to get in the room, you're generating those leads, you're reaching direct to seller, and you're having, you're getting a conversation on the books and going in on that appointment. When you have that conversation and you're able to pull this up right on the go and show like, hey, here's exactly what your house is actually worth. It gives you an amazing negotiation tool to help make more money on that deal, but then also helps give you confidence. That way you're never scared to have that conversation with the seller around what their house is worth. And especially as a newbie, like that's extremely powerful to have that confidence.
You don't need a script or anything to do this. Yeah, I mean, you've got the data, and really, just hopping on the phone and calling these people and, getting in touch with them and saying, hey, you know what, I'm a real estate investor in the area, and I watched the market pretty close. I saw that you had your property listed and it didn't sell, and I thought I'd reach out to you and see, why it came off the market. And, if it's something, that maybe I could help with. I buy properties in the area, is it, why do you think it didn't sell? And just start a conversation, and you'll be surprised if you do that enough, how many of them will go someplace and how many of them you'll end up buying because you just reached out and said, hey, what's going on? How can I help?
Yep. And here's a way better example for you guys so you can really see the data in action. But, you can see the blue dots, or the blue pin is your property. And then these other dots coming up are the MLS listed properties that are comparable to your filters. So clicking on that, you can quickly draw around that area, pull this up, say, okay, yeah, let me select the comps that are most relevant here, pick out the 3 that matter most. And then, okay, you've got, it takes these 3, it takes their sale date or their sale price and then their square footage and divides it into an average dollars per square foot. And then based on that, multiplies it to your property to say, okay, here's the estimated value of a ready to go, on market property. So you can start there and say, here's what your property is worth if everything was perfect.
Right. There's your ARV, right?
There's your ARV. And then you can work backwards to get to your max allowable offer. So,
right. Awesome. People want to check this out and play around with it. If you sign up for the 7-day free trial of DealMachine, can you access it?
So the comps is an additional add-on, but the 7-day
Not the
free trial.
comps, but the MLS data.
Yes. So MLS data, every single person that tries a free trial on our Driving for Dollars or our List Builder plan will get MLS data. They'll get these dots popping up on their map. They'll get that as a filter option within List Builder. And and then like I said, if you get to that point where it's like, hey, let's upgrade into that comps tool, that's really easy, seamless, on the go. And if you have anyone on your team, that add-on per month will unlock it for all of them. So.
That's great. Okay. So if somebody wants to try this, I go to DealMachine.com, use the promo code Toolbox, and not only will you get to try out Deal Machine, get a 7-day free trial, but I'll give you the Deal Machine bonus that I put together, which are all my contracts, videos on how to use them, a couple little secret bonuses I threw in there. So sign up for Deal Machine, use the promo code Toolbox, and then just email me and say, hey, David, I signed up for Deal Machine using your promo code, and I'll send you back an email with the bonus in there, a link to the bonus. So
fantastic. Cool. Yeah, I know you really take care of people well there. And I mean, outside of, we're giving you the technology to be successful, and then you provide so much fantastic education and contracts and scripts and all of that to go into taking that education and putting that to action with this technology and together. Excited to see.
Good combo. It's a good combo
for sure.
Right? Cool. Okay, let's wrap it up for today. We'll do another full length video on this in the coming weeks. But I just wanted to let you guys know that Deal Machine has your MLS data.
Yeah, exciting. Right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, man. I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.